Welcome to my review of the only movie that has ever made me type the phrase rocket farting while writing it. Thanks.
This is what you look like when you're happy. You look for someone who will make you happy. A friend, a girlfriend, or a dog.
Good boy.
Good boy.
Sometimes you might be lucky enough to bump into the one person you want to spend the rest of your life with, and that is love.
Swiss Army Man stars Paul Dano as a guy at the end of his rope, and what happens when he finds a corpse and decides to use that as his only friend. The corpse, of course, played by Daniel Radcliffe. This movie is strange. Is it too strange for its own good? Here's 5 things you might want to know about Swiss Army Man. Number 1, let's just start with the obvious. This is a weird bird, this movie. Now, I don't think that's a bad thing. In fact, I'm going to put it in the good category, and I'll tell you why. I'm a sucker for a movie that has a distinct vision. I'm going to name some movies, and I'm not saying this movie is like them per se, only in the sense that it has its own unique sense. Napoleon Dynamite was that way. I'd never seen anything like it, kind of the way it saw the world. Wes Anderson movies are that way. Just this idea that you're seeing something solely unique and presented to you in a completely unique way, I think that's a powerful thing and gives it some bonus points right off the start for me. But a movie can't just be strange for strange sake. It's got to have something else there, and I think this movie does. I found myself surprisingly having a good time at this movie. It's funny, it's clever, as crude and off-putting as it can be in its strangeness, it's also surprisingly poignant. There's some depth here. It causes you to feel some things that you're surprised you're feeling, especially based on the way it's showing you these things. All that put together means it's a deeper movie than you would expect, and also I think a funnier movie than you might. A lot of credit for this, by the way, goes to the people involved in making it. The Daniels, as they're known, the writers and directors of this movie, a couple guys named Daniel. Not only them as the Daniels, but you've got Daniel Radcliffe and Paul Dano. A lot of Dans here. Radcliffe is phenomenal in this. I'm going to use this phrase for the first time this year. Award-worthy performance. What he's doing as this corpse is different and difficult and strange and moving, and well done by him. And that's not to take anything away from Dano, who is also really impressive in this. All these guys coming together have made something I think really unique and special, and it would not have happened without any one of them doing their part. Now, that's not to say this is a perfect film. There are actually a couple things in here that you might not like. Number 1, and we'll say this is a caution, not necessarily a huge negative, because I think it depends on who you are. I think this movie doesn't find quite the right balance of over the top versus quirky. You can be quirky and strange. You don't have to cut back on being strange, but this movie pushes some things so far that it becomes a little ridiculous and over the top. Now, everybody's line on that is a little bit different, so where that line gets crossed for you might not be the same as me, but I'm thinking there were a half dozen moments in this that I'm just like, okay, enough with that. That's a little much for me. It's easy to look past because, again, you're drawn into what's going on here, but at the same time, something worth mentioning. But really the main thing that brought this movie down for me, from being an excellent movie to a good movie, the ending. I didn't think it stuck the landing. I was really looking forward to how they were going to tie this up, what they were trying to say to me. And they gave me an ending that I didn't want. Now that's kind of on me because they get to pick, but at the same time, it changed the way I saw the rest of the movie, and I wasn't watching the movie I thought I was watching. There's some beautiful stuff here on the human psyche and, you know, some really poignant stuff that was changed for me because of the way the movie decided to end, and I really didn't like that. Overall, I feel like this movie was a good movie, a unique movie, very interesting to watch, but overall Swiss Army Man still, because it can't stick the landing, falls to me to a B-. Thanks for checking out this Your Movie Friend review. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments on this movie and others. If you want to stay in touch with the channel, you can click up here on the info cards. There's other reviews up there, how to donate. If you want to stay in touch with me, have a two-way conversation on some of this stuff, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Periscope, I do it all. It's my whole life. I'm just kidding. Just search for Aaron Dicer, Aarondicer. You can find me there and we can chat about movies and have a good time. Also, if you want to check out the podcast, we do that weekly, every Friday. In fact, we record it in front of a live internet audience. So you can even join in on listening to the recording if you like to do that. SiftPop, SiftPop is what you search for the podcast. All right, on to the best ever challenge where you name the best movie ever in a particular category. Also try to identify my choice. What is the best Paul Dano movie ever? He's increasingly become a bankable, award-winning star. What do you think his best movie is? For mine, it's the one that made me think twice about drinking another man's milkshake. Pretty easy, right? Take a guess in the comments. If you're the first person to get it right, you do get that point. Let me know your choice for his favorite movie as well. And as always, here's 5 extra seconds to hit subscribe so you can never miss another review. Just click the logo right down in this corner.